While critics may not enjoy the adventures of Sylvester Stallone's Barney Ross, Jason Statham's Lee Christmas, and the rest of the gang, audiences do. While The Expendables 4 was recently set for a September 22, 2023 release date, little is known about the film itself, so we thought we'd try to compile everything we know about the fourth installment in the Expendables series. So without further ado, let's discuss the cast, release date, story, and above all, what Stallone had to say about his return to the franchise. The fourth film, created and produced by Millennium Media and Campbell Grobman Films and distributed by Lionsgate, has been in development hell for the past decade. As previously stated, the most recent film was released in 2014, with the sequel following in 2012, and the original premiering in 2010. According to this timeline, the fourth film should have been released nearly 7 years ago. Fortunately, despite the behind-the-scenes drama as well as the COVID pandemic, the studio has finally announced that the fourth film will be released in the US on September 22 of this year. While fans are excited to see the new film, it should be noted that the 3 previous films all premiered in August, so don't be surprised if the studio moves the release date up 1 month to coincide with how the other 3 were released. It all depends on how post-production goes. Now let's shift our focus to the story. At this point, audiences have been given shockingly little information about the fourth film's plot. The only concrete information available to fans comes from the film's IMDb page, which states, "The Expendables will square off against an arms dealer who commands the might of a massive army." This plot summary may appear to be fairly generic for an action film, but thankfully, this may be a good thing. Action movies, like superhero movies, can be broken down into similar plot descriptions, just like comedies and romantic movies. So giving a generic plot description that doesn't give too much away about the plot of the movie should actually serve the film much better, as it will allow for more suspense among audiences because they won't already know what to expect. Who will be back? Despite some off-screen complications since the last film, Sylvester Stallone will reprise his main role as Barney Ross. He'll be joined by actors Jason Statham, Lee Christmas, Dolph Lundgren, Gunnar Jensen, and Randy Couture, Toll Road, who will all reprise their roles from the previous 3 films. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, Megan Fox, Tony Jaa, Jacob Scipio, Levi Tran, Eddie Hall, Iko Uwais, and Andy Garcia, among others, have joined the cast in unspecified roles. Even though Stallone, Statham, Lundgren, and Couture will be returning to the franchise, there's been no word on whether or not any of the other core members of the Expendables, such as Jet Li, Terry Crews, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, will be returning for the fourth installment. While no trailer has been revealed yet, the audience at CinemaCon in 2022 did get to see a little bit of footage. Now let's dive into every other detail we know so far. New director, new writers. One of the most important takeaways from the fourth film is that it will be directed by a new director and written by new writers. The first film was directed by Stallone and written by David Callaham. The second by Simon West, written by Richard Wenk, and based on a story by Ken Kaufman and David Augusto. And the third by Patrick Hughes and written by Katrin Benedict and Creighton Rothenberger. It's also worth noting that Stallone contributed to the writing or story for all 3 of these movies. However, for writers, 1. The film will be directed by Scott Waugh and written by Max Adams and Spencer Cohen, making this the first film in the franchise in which Stallone will not be credited as a director or writer. Who is Iko Uwais playing? While plot details are still being kept under wraps, it has been confirmed that one of the new cast members, Iko Uwais, will play the film's antagonist. While little is known about the character, it is safe to assume that Uwais will play the arms dealer mentioned in the IMDb plot description. We already know that Uwais will have a massive army at his disposal, and that the Expendables will be squaring off against said army in order to stop him. Is Barney Ross going to die? As previously stated, Stallone will reprise his role as Barney Ross. However, there was a lot of off-screen drama between the third and fourth films, which eventually caused Stallone to step away from the franchise entirely in 2017. Fortunately, Stallone's fellow castmates came to his aid and advocated for his return, prompting Stallone to do so in 2018. However, given that this was the first film in which Stallone had no involvement in directing or writing, along with his willingness to leave the franchise, it may not be the most irrational to believe that Barney Ross will be given a satisfactory ending in the upcoming film, allowing the franchise and the studio to move on to new things. Stallone has stated that the film is more focused on Jason Statham's Lee Christmas, even referring to it as a spin-off at one point. Now let's talk about what Schwarzenegger said about his return in Expendables 4. Schwarzenegger has appeared in all 3 Expendables movies with his longtime friend and co-star Sylvester Stallone. Arnold Schwarzenegger is back on the big screen with Netflix's FUBAR, and fans are ecstatic. The actor, like fellow veterans Sylvester Stallone and Jean-Claude Van Damme, returned to his action roots for his TV debut, much to the delight of fans and critics. So now that he's returned, fans are wondering where they'll see him next. The upcoming Expendables 4 could be a natural fit, as the actor has been an indispensable part of the franchise. But, in a recent interview with Parade, the actor put all hopes to rest. "I'm done and I'm not in it," Schwarzenegger said of his role in the Expendables 4. Since the first film in the series in 2010, the actor has appeared in cameos alongside Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, and others. "You know what, we've done this and I'm out of it," I said. And Stallone got it, the actor explained. According to the actor, he was still in the governor's office when he did an uncredited cameo in the original film. "I made the first Expendables as a favor for Sly. I shot it in a church for 2 hours on a Saturday with Bruce Willis. 'Oh, can you do Expendables 2?' Sly asked, and I obliged for a weekend. It was then expanded for Expendables 3. That was the end of it. We'll do something together one day." What's happening with the Expendables 4? The Expendables franchise has one of the best action star lineups. Stallone co-wrote and directed the original film, which became a franchise. However, after Expendables 3 failed to entertain at the box office in 2014, the 4th installment of the franchise was put on hold for a while. However, work on the film began in 2018, with principal photography wrapping in December 2021. The recently held CinemaCon rolled out the initial marketing of the movie with official posters. Well, that's it. For now, make sure that you like our video. Please share your views and opinions in the comment section with us. Subscribe to the channel to get updated regularly with the latest news and reviews on upcoming movies from us. And do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you at the next one.